Hello everyone, welcome back to the Fireside Chat with Atlatec. We've now approached the end of May and the weather is finally great in Germany. We're all very happy about it. And today I would like to start off with some good news from Atlatec. We have launched our first webinar of this year. It will be in a form of live panel discussion, and together with other experts, we will discuss how to scale ADAS testing with objective KPIs. I would like to kindly invite you, all of you, to join this live panel discussion. It will be held in English and German. You can pick the session that best fits you, and I will attach the link to the webinar registration in the post above. Henning, since you will be one of the panelists, maybe you could share some ideas of what it will be like.
Yeah, sure. So I'm also very much looking forward to our very first webinar ever. Registration numbers are very good at the moment, so I'm excited about this. And we will do this jointly with partners that we have worked with in the past. M Dynamics, it's a company from Germany, and also Genesis that supply parts of this, and also the University of Applied Science in Kempten. And it's a nice consortium with which we have worked on this kind of technology. And this is all about putting measurable numbers and key performance indicators to testing of advanced driver assistance systems, really going beyond gut feelings in testings of how this feels, feels good, feels bad, really attaching numbers to this. And also by this, getting a means to having repeatability in testing, right? Drive again, get the same numbers. You can change something on the fly, test again. It's pretty cool stuff. So, and we as Atlatec scan the environments and provide the reference data for the perception part of this. Yeah, looking forward to this.
Would you like to add something?
Well, I don't think I have that much to other than that I too look forward to actually partaking in this webinar, because I wasn't personally a part of the project, but I think it makes perfect sense as far as I understand this solution, specifically what you just mentioned, Henning, to actually be able to put meaningful KPIs and measurable values to ADAS performance indicators that are very, very subjective, right? Because it's not just about the safety feature works or doesn't work. It's also about, does this feel good? Is this driving pleasure? Does this way the system handles fit with a brand identity, for example? And that's of course notoriously hard to quantify. So I'm really looking forward to the details that our partners also are bringing to that. Yeah.
Yes, and the NCAP testing and the 4-lane departure warning system, for examples, I mean, that's by no means enough. I think everybody would really agree to this, even for, let's say, level 2 and below systems, let alone for anything above this. So something really needs to fundamentally change here. And who knows, maybe we can make a contribution to this.
Fingers crossed.
Yes.
Yeah. A little disclaimer, the webinar will be recorded, so everyone who registers will get a link to the recording. If you can't join us live, that's not a problem. You can watch it later. Just simply fill out the registration form that will be attached above. And I suggest we move on to another piece of news that came from Germany. We have got to know that starting 2022, as far as I remember, the German government will allow of the on-road test of autonomous vehicle without safety driver, meaning level 4 autonomous vehicles. That's definitely a huge step for Germany. Tom, what do you think? How will it end up for the car manufacturers?
I mean, it's something that's fun to speculate about, but of course it's impossible to know, right? I mean, this is literally something that is cutting edge stuff for everyone in the industry, and to be a bit pathetic, for mankind as a whole, right? Driverless vehicles is super exciting stuff. And I was extremely surprised. I'll be honest with you and tell you that I didn't even know that this measure was going to be voted on in the German parliament. I only heard about it after the fact. And I think it's super exciting, because a lot of the time here in Germany and in Europe, you get the feeling that when it comes to autonomous vehicles, all the big players are kind of deciding stuff either in the US or in China. And Europe is lagging behind that. So this, of course, could potentially be a huge game changer for that. I mean, there are international companies that will be testing here, but we also have, I don't even know how many OEMs in Germany who will surely not want to be left behind on this. So I personally think this should be very exciting.
Yeah, I totally agree. And you know, from my side, being an engineer by education and being active in the space for a little over a decade now, I mean, I typically used to have a kind of narrow view on this whole self-driving thing, and that was on technology alone, right? I mean, that was clearly what drove everything a decade ago, right? I mean, make the technology work. And one, or at least I used to have the feeling, you know, once the technology is solved, then we can have these robot taxis on the road. But now the view is a little bit broader. And in addition to purely technological things that still needs to be worked on, no doubt about it, there are two more aspects. And it's really like you have the kind of weakest link in this chain, right? I mean, it's not only a single thing, technology, but in addition to technology, you also have commercial things, right? I mean, eventually companies need to make money with this. Let's not forget about this. Only because it works doesn't mean you can make money. That's the second thing. And the focus is in this space already for quite some time. And I have no doubts that this will be, you know, a very fruitful and very healthy business. And finally, it's legal, right? I mean, how, you know, what does it help you if you're not allowed to do it? And by times, I was slightly worried that, you know, technology and commercial things move fast, whereas legal does not. And so, you know, given this background, I think it's very good news for all of us. And typically other countries kind of do similar things then very soon thereafter. Yeah, and kind of paving the road to actually have the legal framework around it to actually do these things. So it's good news. I like this.
Yeah, definitely. Um, another piece of news that I would like to discuss with you guys is coming from Ford. They have released the electrical truck. They are one of their best-selling trucks, F-150 Lightning, now electrical version. Henning, what is your gut feeling? What will be the sales of the truck? Do you think it will become popular among the Americans?
Yes, interesting question, Hannah. I saw the F-150 Lightning all over social media. I mean, really, I mean, it's like there were a couple of days where it was everywhere, literally everywhere. I think U.S. President Joe Biden did a test drive with it. I mean, that's clearly helped it quite a lot. But it's interesting, you know. Long time ago, 20 years ago, I lived in the United States for a couple months, almost 1 year, and I do understand that like pickup trucks is a big thing in the United States, but in Germany it's not at all, right? I know zero people that own a pickup truck in Germany, right? It's just something that we don't use here in Europe yet. That may change in the future. And I kind of have the feeling that with electrification EV on the trucking side, be it Ford, be it Tesla, be it Rivian, or be it someone else, I mean, there could be a point where it kind of finally makes it into Europe and kind of, you know, shows more kind of traction here in Europe on the space. So yeah, nice vehicle, looks very good.
Yeah, I agree. And what I like about this a lot is that it seems to be completely redesigned in a completely new way. You know, because a lot of the times you have, okay, it's an electric vehicle, that means it can do what the other one can. It's just it runs on battery juice rather than petrol, right? But from what I can see about this, and I particularly like the focus of the article that we're linking with this, is that they're looking at it that way, and that is how Ford has really completely redesigned what even the point of the product is and what the product itself is. It's not just a moving car. It's something that is supposed to make your job easier as a work crew, right? You can use the battery to power your tools that you have along there. You can even use them to power your house, I read. And I mean, there's a bunch of areas in the US where that will be a necessity and where it will also be a selling point. And I like that because what the area of electric vehicles really needs is it needs something to turn the question, should I really go electric, around, and to make it, why haven't I gone electric yet, right? And so to that effect, I really think that this F-150 Lightning can be a huge contributor.
Yeah. I think this is a very valid point, and it seems to be kind of like the the play of the times right now to once OEMs are putting these new EVs on the road soon, that they kind of rethink what else you can do while you already change the entire drivetrain. I mean, in the early days of EVs, I do have some OEMs, admittingly German ones, I will not name any, in mind, that took in, just a regular combustion engine vehicle, replaced it with an EV drive, and were surprised that no one wants to buy it, right? Because everybody was kind of paying a premium, right? Even the manufacturers, right?
Yeah.
And the consumers. And I mean, for me, even back then, it's a little while ago, it felt like this is more kind of, brushing up the image of the company to be EV-ish. But that has clearly changed. And the new vehicle generation is they all come with all these kind of new features. And that's cool. I like that a lot.
Yeah, same here. And of course, it's going to come with the Blue Cruise system, I read, which is the Ford Level 3 feature. So yeah, sounds like once it becomes possible to travel to the United States again next year, we will definitely have to rent one of these.
Yes, for sure. Yeah, that's another thing. So I mean, I think the hands-free driving. Let's kind of use that as an umbrella here, around level 2 and above. That's really seeing a lot of traction at the moment, and that's very good too. I mean, that's a very good thing as well.
Agreed.
Now, I guess we're done for today. Thank you guys for joining the conversation, and thank you everyone who is watching us on monthly basis. Stay tuned for the upcoming video end of June, and have a great time until then. Don't forget to register to the webinar.